G'day Aussie gamers, welcome to the Aussie Gamers Express video game podcast. The podcast that brings you news, reviews and video game related fun. Get yourself set, it's time to hand you over to your hosts Lucas and Red. Hey Aussie gamers, this is episode 124 and today is Friday the 13th of May 2016. Ooh, evil laugh. I am your host, Lucas, and also with me here is my fantastic friend, Red. How are ya?
Fantastic.
That is awesome. Now we've got a bit of spooky, scary episode this week, have we, Red?
Yeah. Last words should contain a little bit of horror for us.
Awesome. Alright, before we start, here's this week's showing preview. First up, video game discussion, and I've got a massive week. What about you, Red? You had a big one last week. What about this week?
I did have a big one last week. Looking down, I've still got a big one, but I've got something new, something old, and something blue.
You tool. After that, Tight Ass Gaming and then video game news, and this week's video game news will entail Titanfall 2 release window, Battlefront 2 next year, Call of Duty and Battlefield for 2016, 2 EA delays, an Assassin's Creed movie trailer, and Disney Infinity becomes Finite. After that, we'll have What's That Sound, then Red's Shout, and we might have some last words as well. First up, video game discussion, Red.
Rightio. Where do I start? I have played this week. I've played Don Bradman Cricket.
Oh, back to the roots.
Yeah, back to the roots. I was a little bit. The lack of funds were kicking in the other day with the release of something come out this year, whatever, and I'm sitting there quiet and having a quiet moment, and I was like, you know what I do in my quiet moments? I play cricket. So I just had a run on the cricket. The biggest thing to say, the one achievement that I got on it, or I've never been able to accomplish before, is I'm actually now in my creator mode, in my career mode. I am now playing for Australia. Big silver trophy. Yes.
Yay! So
that was a minor accomplishment because I've been playing this now, 13, 14 months, you know, I've got a lot of time out of it, and it wasn't bad for 99, 95. Old-time listeners will get that one, but yeah. So, also, talking of going back and playing something different, Call of Duty, Black Ops, I chucked it back in. I don't know, I must have got caught up in the hype of the new first-person shooter trailers that we've seen lately, and also, it's just something simple. Press X, load a game, go about your business. It all comes naturally, if you know what I mean. First person shooters, they just sit well.
Yeah, I played a couple of those with you.
Yeah, it's still sweaty as fuck.
And every time you get onto that Nuketown map, everyone votes to replay the last match.
Ah, yeah. Fucking that shit's run its course. If that's in Black Ops 4.
Oh, Nuketown?
Yeah,
they need to make a new Nuketown. Get something different. And I don't mean Nuketown remastered, I mean fucking a different map of similar sorts.
Yeah, it was completely broken though the other night playing with Jason, because he's obviously got the season pass and I do not.
Oh, yeah.
We were searching for a game, and I got to play a couple of the DLC maps on the sly.
Yeah, just like, unless there was a thing going. Are you sure there wasn't a thing going where everyone got to play for the weekend or something?
No, there was double XP. I know that, but no mention. I've not seen it. You would have seen it on Facebook, surely.
Yeah, sure they would have advertised it, because you know how like everybody downloads the map packs regardless. That's what those massive updates are.
Tell me about it. Reinstall was 11.7 gig download.
Well, big.
But yeah, I don't know. So, that was cool. It was cool. We all jumped in. A couple of us had a game together, and it served its purpose. Whether it stays on there after today. Oh, and speaking of today, Happy Doom Day.
Yeah, Happy Doom Day.
So I'll probably replace on the hard drive one FPS for another. So
that's not fair. We didn't have a Happy Uncharted Day because we didn't record on Uncharted Day.
Oh, but you had a happy Uncharted day.
I did have a happy Uncharted day. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we streamed and pulled off the incursion the other night.
You
not
did?
last night, not before, Wednesday.
Yeah, I watched a bit of that.
So that was... it's becoming a little second nature now, the incursion, and I think now we've managed to get everyone in our core playing group through it, except for Zach.
Oh, Zach hasn't done it yet? Oh, weeks?
No, it was in America when it was all hot, new and fresh. And he comes straight home to Dark Souls, and then leading on to my next game, Alienation. We've been playing a fair bit of that. Really good. I keep saying it, and it's probably getting real annoying playing this game with me because every time something just goes kaboom and shit just happens everywhere and there's no frame rate drops and it's colourful and neon-y, I go, this is just a really good game.
Yeah, you do, but every time you say that, I concur.
you take that extra split second to go, I know, right?
You're right.
Well worth $30. That's a benchmark price, I think, for games of this quality, and sometimes there's indie games on there pushing the $23 to $30 region, and Alienation's a yardstick for a $30 game. I think I would have paid, in hindsight now, probably would have paid $40 for it, but not knowing much about it, I probably would have balked at it. But yeah, that's I think that's where it's at for that price range. It really
that's definitely value for the money that you pay for it.
Yeah, it does get repetitive, but that's where you got that slight RPG aspect to level up and the loot system that just keeps driving you. So,
Nice.
I love it. Rainbow Six Siege, yesterday being the 12th, or early morning, could have been the 11th, but around midnight on the 11th, we got Dustline.
Yep.
So we rubbed our little palms together yesterday and organised a party to go play Rainbow Six. And because we didn't pay the bullshit price of season pass, we've got to wait another week for the fucking operators.
Yeah, if you've got, how much, 28?
25,000 per operator, so 50,000 renown, so in-game credit.
What did you say? 50,000 renown?
For both, yeah.
Oh, for both, yeah.
Yeah, 25 each.
Yeah.
So you get, they're part of the Navy SEALs. The special ability of the attacker being the bloke, he's got a like a Perspex bulletproof shield attached to his like his red dot sight on his gun or onto his barrel, top of his barrel. So headshots are not a thing really. And she has a deployable on the defender side. She has a deployable camera, and so you can throw an extra couple of cameras out for the defending side.
Yeah.
To really monitor those choke points. I played a few games, and then you jumped in and we played a few games together. Still sweaty as fuck. Something new that I've reviewed this week. Blues and Bullets. Now, the review hasn't gone live, so you haven't personally been privy to it, so it's nice to be able to tell you a little bit about it. I know you've seen Chase's video, which is on our Aussie Gamers Express YouTube channel, which you can go across and have a look at also if you do like the visual side of things. But I thought going in, because it reeked of it, and I don't mean that negatively, it reeked of a walking simulator, noir style detective crime solver.
Yep.
From everything I've seen, screenshots, the opening credits and everything, the map, the bloody main menu, everything absolutely reeked of it. But then you get into it, and the very first scene's like this satanic culty, oh my god, what the fuck have I just actually walked into? You're introduced straight away to fixed camera angles on very similar to Resident Evil, but not that fixed. Like, they do move with you, but I'm constantly there with the right analog stick trying to change the camera, but it's never going to work.
Yeah.
And then you got that. It's tank controls also, talking of Resident Evil, so you kind of... It's 50-50. You kind of rotate and walk forward, but like you can't just turn like on a 70-degree angle and then start walking in that direction, which you can usually do in third-person games. So I'm like, is this a here we go again moment? Got through the initial first couple of moments, and it literally was just the first couple of moments, couple of minutes, and I'm like, wow, I don't understand what the fuck's going on here, really. But then it takes you to the main setting, and you meet your main protagonist, and his name's Elliot Ness. Now, does that name resonate with you?
Elliot what?
Ness.
Elliot Ness.
How about Al Capone?
Oh, no, I don't know any of their names, no.
Oh, The Untouchables. So
okay.
The movie with Kevin Costner in it. But these are real life guys, real life people, so there's some historical basis to it. So, yeah, it shows him retired, then he gets dragged back into the detective world. There's a little bit of flashback, and that's about all I want to say about the narrative of it, because that is its strongest point, being a storytelling, decision-making sort of game. But it is broken up by some pretty cool other game mechanics, which kind of was a bit of a curveball to me. I'm doing my thing, walking around, making decisions, investigating stuff, but then all of a sudden there's a cover-based shooter mechanic there. I'm like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then I picked up a Tommy gun, and I'm like, it's a Tommy gun, see?
I believed ya, but my Tommy gun don't.
And that's how it feels. It's the real early days, and real set in the 50s, obviously. Can
I just ask you? Does the game look? I haven't actually played it, admittedly, but does the game use onomatopoeia at all?
No, it'd suit.
I would love for that game, from what I've seen, when you fire the Tommy gun, for it to go rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat across the screen. I love games that do that.
Yeah, when tastefully done, that's awesome. So it has that cover-based shooter system there. The graphics aren't brilliant. Okay, I'm going to say that, and I'm not trying to detract from the quality of the overall experience, but it does look like an early Steam game. Look. It doesn't hold up to a lot of even indie games that we're playing at the moment. But I'm going to put that down to probably being a budget thing.
Oh yeah, probably. Who's it made by? We've got
A Crowd of Monsters.
A Crowd of Monsters. See, have you heard of them before?
Not really.
No. See, that's the thing. When I hear a developer that is unknown, it makes me think, well, look, yeah, the game might not be as polished as your big companies, but they've probably made it on a bee's dick percentage of big budget games. They've had bugger all money to spend. Money also means time, so they don't have as much time to develop a game. I forgive games like that. If it's got a strong story and gameplay that's not broken, I generally forgive.
Absolutely. It has AAA ties. The main voice of Elliot Ness is done by Doug Cockle, who is Geralt of Rivia, if you will.
Yeah, well, geez, that's where the budget went.
I think the budget went to creative with their writing and everything like that, because it's so, like, I don't mind this era. I'm not as educated. Look, if we were American, we'd probably have a lot more history, like general knowledge of these guys, and the Hindenburg, which is noted in it, and plays a bit of a part in it and everything like that. We know these names, but we have no tie to them, no national tie, no real pride in them, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And that's not a bad thing, like, we're Australian. But that got me to do just a little bit of research, and because there's a thing right at the start. I won't drag this on too much longer. But there's a thing at the start, and it says historical events and people are respected, and we're trying to keep it as close as possible within the game world, sort of thing, So they know that they're changing history a little bit, but the characters that they're basing on, like Al Capone and Elliot Ness and everything like that, it's almost historically correct, because I did go the wiki of the actual people and done a bit of research on them. I've watched the Untouchables movie. It inspired me to watch that again. And yeah, it was really cool. It was really, really cool in that aspect.
See, that's always a good thing to find when you're playing a game and you realise that a lot of the substance, albeit maybe changed a little for entertainment purposes, but when you find out that the substance of a game that you're playing and enjoying has a real world tie, so it's actual factual in some parts to some degree. I like that, because if you get really interested in it and get into it, you can then go and further the interest and go and maybe watch a documentary or go and watch a movie that might be related and have the same sort of characters. So there's more for you, like when you play a massive big fantasy game that you're looking forward to and you love. Once you finish the game, you got to wait for the sequel. Yeah. There's nothing else that relates to that, right? But with games like this, you can go, like you said, go back and watch a movie and get more of it, more that you crave of that same sort of
entertainment.
Yeah. So I like that. Like, I mean, I've heard the meme go around the internet and it relates, but everything I know about history basically came from an Assassin's Creed game.
Yes.
Like, people have asked, like, the time, I can't really give you an example because it'd be too hard to think of, but there have been many times where in my personal life, people have brought something up and I've been able to add something to the conversation. Not because I know it through researching history or being interested in world events or anything like that. I've got input because I played a game that had that in it. That's yeah. I love that. I love real world ties in games. It's cool.
And leading on to my next mechanic that I really liked in it was there's a gory death. Like, this is not for the really faint of heart, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of adult themes and the conversations and the decision making process. You got to be quite mature about it. It's not just hit X and off you go sort of thing. If you want to get immersed and get into it, it'll quickly drag you into that mind frame. And there's this really gory, like, fucked up murder scene, and really cool, man. and you go through the whole room, or the whole house and everything, and you collect bits of evidence or snippets of deduction, like a broken table with blood running left and right, which means the assault started there, sort of thing, if you know what I mean. So you got these little bits of deductions, bits of evidence, and things that you notice, and then you can go to, like, when you're watching a police show or something, you've got like the evidence board, and then they thumbtack there, and then they draw a piece of string down here, like a mind map.
Yep.
So you've got this evidence board, and you've got to put, kind of like your murdered soul suspect, but not as bland, and you've got to put the correct pieces of evidence under motive, and piece together the 4 clues that gave you the impression that there was an assault, and then cause of death, and was there witnesses, and you've got to piece all this together. And Ness, your character, he's narrating over the top of it, so it gives you a really, really big picture and a big insight into a detective's mind, and that's really, really well written. And the powers of deduction, and you can put it all together. Like, if you pick the wrong piece of evidence, like the say, hypothetically, the murder weapon, and you go, well, it was done on the stairs, he slipped over, it'll just go, sort of thing. There's no real penalty for getting it wrong. But I didn't find myself going through every one, hitting X, trying to just fill the slot to move on. I was actually wanted to piece it together for myself. Yeah. And so you've got that freedom there if you are struggling, but you don't have to use it, if you know what I mean. You actually, you're already invested, and I think it's just that X factor of this scene that really hit you, and I'm like, fuck, and you sort all that out, and then you move on, sort of thing. And that's because it's episodic, I should have mentioned. There's 5 episodes slated for release. This is episode 1, and I reckon there'll be a scene like this in every episode or something like that, to keep it fresh and keep it new. But I think that was a standout for me. And there is an overarching satanic cult feeling to it all, and
That's really deep, actually. The very beginning, the very end, and a little splice right in the middle really gives this a bit of rocket fuel. So, a low budget game. It instantly doesn't look brilliant. Like I've made mention to that in my review and everything like that. But it is it's of a quality which I would have missed once again if not for the opportunities that arise from doing what we do. So. Yeah, very, very excited for episode 2.
Yeah, nice. So there's 3 episodes, is that right?
2 out at the moment. The third one might be out already. I'm not sure. I can quickly tell you because you asked so nicely. 2 episodes out at the moment.
Okay, cool. And how long did episode 1 take?
Because I went around and checked everything out, about 2.5 hours. 2 hours.
Okay.
And it's $7.55 an episode. Yeah, I can swallow that.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Basically, now Clash Royale, I will say.
Oh, yeah.
I played a lot of that. I hit a new high of 1,800 trophies, and now I'm back down to about 1,650.
Wow, man. I can't get over, like, 940.
Yeah, I know. Pierce come over the other day.
I'm struggling.
My cousin, and he goes, oh, do me a favour. I went, yeah. And he goes, get me to 1,000. He's sitting on about 800. So I went in. I'm building a deck very similar to mine. If it wasn't the same card, it was something like anti-air or a Russia or something like that, or a potion.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've got this strategy that now works on my deck, but I'm feeling now like I get up higher. People now are counteracting that. They're used to seeing it.
Yeah.
Or different combinations like the Hog Rider and the Ice. You know, that is brilliant. You send the Hog Rider through. As soon as they drop something to try and kill that Hog Rider, you hit the tower and the unit with Ice, and you're going to get 4 or 5 shots off onto the castle, you see. So
okay.
So now people are dropping like the skeleton graveyard thing in front of it. Yeah, you can hit that with Ice, but when it destroys, it drops 4 skeletons who are instantly not frozen, so they can attack. So I'm seeing lots of new strategies, and I'm having to get a little bit smarter and change my deck up a little bit more. But I'm going pretty strong at the moment, and I'm very, very much enjoying it. It's sometimes you can play these games that you log in daily and and then they fall by the wayside, and then you just forget about them. You delete them. This one has me coming back, and I'm very much enjoying it. And there's a little bit of interaction. It says we've got 50 clan members, but I think we've got about 10 to 12 active.
Yeah.
So, with more active clan members sharing cards with each other, I think you'd get stronger quicker.
Yeah.
Last but not least, I'll just say what I've done, and I'll comment on it later. I have played multiplayer on Uncharted 4.
Ah, yes, very good. Yeah, we'll have a big chat about that at the end of video game discussion. So that's it for you?
Correctamundo.
All right, well, I've got quite a big list here, but I'm going to start off with the big one first. Other than Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. The big one for the week is our good friend Snoogans and I. Last week, we couldn't talk about it last week because of an embargo that was in place, so we weren't allowed to talk about it last week's show. However, it is lifted now, and we're allowed to talk about it. So The Witcher 3 DLC, Wine and Blood. We had an opportunity to go down to Namco Bandai. Is it Namco Bandai or Bandai Namco? I always get it mixed up.
Got them both mixed up.
I don't know.
Wine and blood and wine.
Blood and wine. Blood and wine, Namco Bandai, fucking whatever. You know who I'm talking about. The Witcher 3 DLC. So we went down to their head office and got a chance to play the DLC before it's released. So obviously it's not out yet. The release date was given to us, I believe, yesterday. All the details are up on the website, thanks to Snoogans, www.aussiegamersexpress.com. Check that out. The release date is actually the 31st of May, 2016. So the end of this month. If you're interested in that, go and grab it. Now, we got to play it. We spent probably about 2.5 hours, probably thereabouts, playing it. And we had the opportunity to see one of the developers actually play through and show us all the new mutations and things like that. That was cool. But before I explain, I'll tell you what the gameplay is like and what we experienced. We also had the chance to interview James, who's one of the developers on The Witcher 3. He is one of the animators. He did the animation. So we've got our interview with that. Pat and I asked him a few questions. Now, the first question that I asked, now bear with us though, because we were a little bit, I guess you could call it starstruck. I mean, not that he's famous or anything like that, but we were very humbled to be in the presence of a developer of such a prestigious video game development company, which is CD Projekt Red. So the first question that I asked was, are there any new fight animations? I thought that would be relevant considering he's an animator, and have a listen to the answer of that one.
For Geralt, we have, I mean, there's quite a lot of new animations in there, but these are mainly based around kind of quest things, like quest custom animations. So, yeah, like when you're doing a quest, there'll be sometimes unique things that Geralt needs to do, picking up items or interacting with something in some way. We don't have as much new in the way for like combat animations or movement. These are more standard to the Witcher 3 stuff.
Okay. So there you go. I was interested in that to see, because I'd heard on the internet there were rumours that there's going to be all new combat stuff. There's not. I did clarify a little further. So basically what they do, the animators, when it comes to DLC, you know, like stuff with, like in a cutscene, or you might be in a quest, and during the quest you have to pick something up. That's what they animate with these sort of things. You know, all the core animations are still there, so they don't have to. They don't really touch that.
Yeah, or you'd be downloading the 30 gig patch.
Well, yeah, probably it would add a lot of size to it, so that was cool. Now, next question, Pat asked him about so the new animations to facial injuries and injuries on Geralt himself. So have a listen to that one.
One thing I did notice with some of the particular fighting animation was when he got hit.
Yes.
I noticed scratches with actual bleeding across the face that I hadn't seen before. Is that something new, or is it just not being noticeable?
I don't think so. I think it's just something that, has maybe not been as noticeable. Because, we've kind of had similar things like that in The Witcher before, just to show damage and this kind of thing.
Yeah, I haven't picked up on it before.
Good one, Pat, you noob. Pay attention.
It's like going in there and going, so what's Bathurst like?
But look, I did come to, it's not in that little snippet there, but I did come to Pat's rescue after that, and I said, look, it's probably got something to do with the fact that you've been playing it on a PlayStation 4, and today here we played the game on a ridiculously massive, oversized beast of a PC with like the graphics set to super duper ultra, so it probably was a lot easier to notice the finer details like cuts to his face. Which James agreed. He said, "Yeah, that's probably right."
I won't retract my statement because that's not like me. I'll still take the piss from Pat, but I know he'll listen and then he'll go, "You prick!" But I'll say, I hadn't noticed it either, and I spent a lot of time with it upon release. So,
there you go.
He's an observant little man, or big man.
Well, he's larger than life, our good old Snoogans. All right, so the next question that we moved on to is something that was very obvious playing early on. There's quite a few bosses. So I asked, there's a few bosses early on. What can you tell me about that? Like, is that like a big thing in this DLC? Have a listen.
Yeah, I think this is something as well that it's something that we've kind of gained some experience with this stuff, and we've found out a little bit more what the fans kind of like, and that's the direction we pushed. Like, I know with the Hearts of Stone expansion pack, people were very surprised at fighting the Toad boss very early into the expansion. I've heard that quite a lot.
And I went in with a character that was 5 or 6 levels above recommended.
Oh, okay.
And it absolutely destroyed me.
Still tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that there's normally like a special way to get
once I figured out the way,
mm-hmm.
I kind of mowed him down, but there was just that certain little tweak you had to find just to get it. But yeah, I've heard that a lot as well.
Yeah, I mean, people really love the idea that you had that kind of boss thing like so early into it. Because for us, it's an expansion. It's probably, it's not the first time you've played Witcher if you're in the expansion. we don't need to like babysit you through that first section and take it very slowly. It's like, no, we can get into the action straight away. Yeah. So yeah, it's only wanted to kind of put that stuff in early for this expansion pack as well. And like I said, it's nice with the bosses because it's not just one way to kill these things. It's we always have something slightly different. Like I don't know if I talked to you earlier about like the giant character and how you kill the giant. Like it's most people I ask, it's like I was dodging.
Spoiler alert. Just thought of it. He's about to tell you one really easy way to kill is it the first or second boss? I think it's the first boss in the game, in the expansion. So if you don't want to hear that, then just turn off for the next 17 seconds. All right, I'll play it again.
Out of the way and attacking, and it's like you literally need one crossbow bolt and you can kill that character. Just like, he has that little weak spot where you can see his eye through the helmet and you can just one shot and he's down for this stuff. So it's all of the characters have slightly different ways that you can beat them with this stuff.
So there you go. There's a sneaky way to kill the giant boss.
That feels a little soulsy.
It did feel like Dark Souls. I'd recently played Dark Souls 3 and going down and playing it. When you went up against this boss, it was very reminiscent of Dark Souls. It was pretty cool. And I didn't know about that little cheat little trick. So I mowed him down just by, like Dark Souls fashion, going in after the animation of him attacking, get in there, get a few swipes, and then jump out. But if you've got a keen eye with your crossbow bolt, you can take him down in one from a distance too. So that's pretty cool. Now I asked what was seemingly a stupid question. Are there multiple endings? And here is the answer we got.
Of course.
Yes.
Stupid question. Of course it does.
No, it's one of the things people really love about The Witcher is that it's the decisions you make they actually have some meaning. It's not like you make the decisions and at the end we just pick one as canon and carry on with it. So the decisions actually have a choice for that stuff. And as we said with the Vineyard, even after the ending, you will then get kind of additional contact with some characters based on how you completed the main game, for instance.
Yep.
So if you were, teaming up with particular people, they can actually come and visit you at your guest room in the Vineyard.
So there you go. What he was talking about there, in the new DLC, you get given like a homestead, like a house and like a little village, which. Because what he explained, which isn't in the interview, I don't think, where they were struggling on where to put NPC characters that you'd encountered throughout the game. I assume he's talking about like Yennefer and maybe Ciri, or depending on the ending that you get. All these different characters, like where are they going to be in the world if you want to see them again? And he said, what do we do? Do we just put them randomly in the world, like just standing on a corner somewhere, or we give him somewhere home? So, and he's also clarified, Geralt was kind of the character that would never settle down, but things are kind of changing, and, he's got somewhere to settle down now where you can upgrade your building. It's kind of like Assassin's Creed 2 style, where you've got Monteriggioni or something?
Yeah.
Something like that. That place in Italy where you could upgrade the buildings for better income and blah blah blah, make it look nicer. You can display your armor, display your weapons, and all that sort of stuff. So that's what he was talking about there. So there's a little home to be. We love that.
Is there a granny flat for Preston Garvey?
No, I'm hoping there's some form of. No, I can't say that because I had this argument the other day. I was talking about how hot Ciri is, but then I sort of got told off because Geralt is the father figure for Ciri, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not Geralt. I'm a horny nerdy gamer.
Yeah, well, you just said standing on a corner or something. It's like, oops, Ciri's there.
I'll do a side quest for you. Now, I hit him with a bit of a curveball, something nobody had asked him before. I'd heard rumours of a first-person mode being added into The Witcher with this latest DLC, and I figured if anyone was going to know, it would be an animator. So I threw that question about the first-person mode, and this is what we got.
I've actually not heard that.
Oh, you've not heard that?
I thought we were going to go with something different there, but no. No, the rumour everyone keeps asking me about is Siri hinted that she's a time traveller, and is she in Cyberpunk? I've been asked 20 times over the last couple of days, which is, I think that's a silly rumour. But a first-person mode, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so, no. I mean, again, it's honestly nothing that I've heard about, but it's... Like I've worked in my career, like I've worked on a lot of first-person games, and it's not like a simple change to go from a third-person game to a first-person.
Yeah, to do it properly anyway.
Yeah, but maybe they'll surprise us. I don't know.
What do you think of his answer?
He's coy, isn't he? You heard it here first.
Yeah, but something later on in the interview makes me think that if the answer was I can't say, like he would have said that. He would have said no comment.
Yeah. Depends how far they want to keep taking this, because obviously these are real DLCs. These are expansions, if you will. Because Blood and Wine, I've read up on it, and I've read Pat's review. We've all been interested in the information that's being brought out. It's 30 hours worth of gameplay.
Yeah, and it's not. It doesn't use the old map. It is a completely new, massive map. So.
Oh, there you go. It's an expansion.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So we're playing, you go to, what's the name of the place?
Not Skellige.
Not Skellige, no, it's a new place. Oh, no, it starts with T, I think. I've lost it. I don't know, I'll come back to that. Pat made a comment about the violence in it, and if there's been any mention of that. Have a listen to this one.
I think it's like, yeah, we've taken people's feedback about the violence in the game or sex in the game, these kinds of things. I can't really talk from the company's point of view because I don't really know what their attitude is for that kind of thing. But I mean, for me personally, it's an adult-rated game for adults, and I don't feel the need to babysit you on what content you're allowed to play. It's a fair answer. Yeah, it's a violent game. I think it's marketed as a violent game, and if you play it and complain about it being a violent game, then yeah, I don't really know what to say to that.
No, that's fair. I'm in the same boat. It's, I'm an adult, I want to play.
Yeah, I get very annoyed, because before this I was working in Germany, and I used to get very, very annoyed when I'm buying like an 18 rated game and it's forcefully been censored for me. Like, it doesn't have blood in.
Welcome to Australia as well.
Weapons are missing, yeah. It's like, I'm an adult. If I want to play that stuff, I don't think the government needs to tell me what I can and can't do for these things.
Yeah, well, there you go. Good answer, I'd say. I agree with that.
Yes.
So there's a bit of violence in there, and a bit more boobies. Spoiler alert. But yeah, there's some good scenes in there in the new DLC. Yes, and thanks for that, Red. It's Toussaint is the new area, which is it's bright and vibrant. When I played it, I don't know if it was the fact that I was on PC on Ultra or if it's the new area or what have you, but I did ask the question. It's not in the interview. It was I asked it of one of the other developers. It looks a lot brighter and vibrant, and the answer I got was along the lines of they've gone for more of a fairy tale look. So it's it's not cell shaded or anything crazy like that, but it's very bright, and the area of Toussaint is it's not war torn or anything like that. It's actually quite a nice area. So
suits the fantasy genre.
Well, that's right, yeah, and that was very easy to notice, I should say. Now, at the time, I asked if there was a confirmed release date, and they wouldn't give us any information, only a week beforehand. Obviously, we know now in hindsight, but this was the answer I got when I asked about the confirmed release date, and it was probably a better answer than I thought.
Set release date. I think the message that we've been told to put across right now is the first half of 2016, which if you months should tell you that it's going to be fairly close.
All right, now, here's the question. I asked this question on your behalf, Red, because I think that would have been something you'd want to know about, because you're such a big fan of Gwent, aren't you?
Oh, man. Love it.
Yeah, love it. All right, so I just said, is there anything new to do with Gwent? I really wasn't expecting this to be the area that I'd get this answer for.
No, I'm not allowed to talk about that stuff.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a sensitive spot. That's just...
No, that's what I don't know anything about Gwen. I'm not allowed to talk about Gwen.
Oh,
yeah.
So there is new things coming, or you just don't know?
Don't know.
Don't know. Well put. Wow. That's a good answer anyway. I think that's answered my question without answering my question. That's fantastic. So it's probably safe to say there's new and awesome things coming to Gwent.
Yeah, probably a new tournament or something, or...
Yeah, but geez, he didn't want to answer that one.
He just went, fucking no.
He put his foot down on that. No dramas. Anyway, Red, just quickly, not long ago, like when we started this, you mentioned something about where they want to go. Like I think we're talking about the first person view and how far they want to take it. I asked this question: is the Witcher series finished?
I really don't know for this stuff. I mean, the only thing we've been told that this is the end of this, and yeah, like to be honest, it's we have Cyberpunk coming up, and it would just be. It would, sorry?
You got Siri for Cyberpunk, you're right.
So yeah, it would just be. I think it would be too much to work on a game the scale of Witcher and a similar scale game with Cyberpunk at the same time. Like it's for me, I think that's done for now. And Cyberpunk next.
So what I gathered from that answer is basically The Witcher 3 is done.
Yes, because he did mention Cyberpunk there. That looks cool. And I've got just a little idea.
What's that?
Maybe there'll be a standalone Gwent game.
Oh, maybe that is it, Red.
Like a Hearthstone sort of duel. Yeah, not so much like... Well, it could go mobile, because there is a... Witcher card game that you can get on Steam and on some handheld devices, I believe. But maybe there's going to be a console version of, NPC, of Gwent, like a standalone Gwent game.
Oh, fuck it. Look, I'm going with that. That's what it is. It's just been announced. Here, Red brought it to us first.
That's why he didn't want to say anything about it.
Yeah, because that would... be something big.
Imagine if you link your accounts and your starting deck is your Gwent deck from Witcher 3.
Oh. Well, that'd be good for you. I couldn't get the hang of it. I didn't put much time into Gwent, but I didn't even know what I was doing during the tutorial.
Oh, we'll play it in September.
All right, you can teach me. You can teach me. If I liked Hearthstone, surely I'll like that. But just a little bit confusing and didn't really want to put the time in at the time. So anyway, all right, we finished up the interview here, and I basically just said thanks a lot and well done for a job well done for the whole project. Well, I think it's been an amazing journey for a game. Like I have heard nothing but absolute praise for CD Projekt Red, and I think that's. I made a note. Actually, I made a note on the forum for you guys saying that you're the golden child of the video game development world. Just don't seem to be able to do anything wrong. So congratulations.
Thank you. And I mean, it's really weird for me because I see like guys kind of idolising CD Projekt, but I don't feel that we're doing anything particularly special. I feel like most of it is common sense, and I don't understand why other companies.
That's it. As simple as it is, but it was splattered all over the internet. That small little piece of cardboard that was inside the boxes that said thank you for being a fan.
Oh yeah, like people went crazy over that stuff, and I was like. It's not a big thing. It's like somebody just wrote a letter and put it in the box. It's it kind of surprises me the reactions to some of that stuff sometimes. Like I really can't guess how the community will react to that stuff. But yeah, we seem to normally nail it with that stuff. It's going well. So.
Yeah, you guys have been doing well. So congratulations and
cool. Thank you
well done on a completed, finished project that has done so well.
Cool.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mike.
And there you go. That was the end of our interview. That was really good. He was a really cool guy to talk to as well. And considering, like, that's what he was doing pretty much all day, he was just talking to us guys from media outlets and doing interviews and stuff like that. Like, at no point did it feel like he was just spurting out the same answers that he'd given a dozen times. Like, he just felt like we're having a good conversation with him. He was a good bloke. So he's part of a good team and done a real good job with the whole game. So nice one. Got any questions, Red?
No, a statement more than anything.
Yeah, go ahead.
He was talking about you thanked him on the quality and how they just kept producing, and it was very seamless, and he couldn't expect the reactions and everything.
Yeah,
I think someone high up that determines a lot of the policies just has very good core values, and it's been put across to the business. And because you're following the credo or the core values, the production quality is always going to be brilliant because there's an expectation of quality, and because there's that expectation, it's never gonna falter. It's never gonna come under that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk also. You called them the golden child. There is 2 or 3 developers that are right up there at the moment, and it's going to be hard to knock them off.
Yeah, I agree. Now, look, a little bit about the game itself. As I said, we played it a bit. Man, there's heaps of bosses. Hey, like in the first 2 hours, 4 bosses.
Yeah, well, it's their big bang, isn't it? This is Witcher Finn.
Yep.
So they're going out in style.
And the bosses are quite unique. All of them are very different. And now there's probably an overtone that you can kind of assume from the title of the game. What is it? Blood and Wine?
Wine and blood, I thought you said.
Shut up. So there's obvious. There's like a bit of.
So you're fighting big grapes.
Yeah, there's grapes. It is. It's what it is. It's also Ribena berries there that you've got to take down.
Ribena minions.
Yeah. There's vampire tones in there as well, and so you've got different oils to put on your swords to combat them. And I'll give you a bit of a tip as well. There's a potion that you can take, because what are vampires? What are they known for doing?
Sucking your blood and turning you.
They're known for sucking your blood, right? So the vampires in this game will suck your blood, but you can take a potion that will hurt them if they suck your blood because it's in your blood. So they latch on, and instead of hurting you, they get off and go, "Ugh!" And they're open to attack.
Yeah. So it kind of replaces your whole aura on the ground.
So that sort of stuff. Now, look, the mutation stuff is a little bit over my head. But there's a whole heap of massive, overpowered stuff. They didn't really show us too much of that, but James was telling us that it's very OP. But totally worth it and totally fun to play with all those. Are they called mutations? Mutagens? Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, mutagens.
Mutagens, yeah.
That you can upgrade and slot. Yeah.
So look, when you're playing it through, the missions were good, and it was like a very good pace. Like, there were no boring parts in the couple of hours that I played. It was mission to mission to mission, and bosses were very prevalent, which was pretty cool. I think there's something like 8 bosses. I think I eventually heard, but there's a lot of them. But look, it's massive gameplay. There's a lot of stuff there for you to do, and the story. Look, I didn't get through the whole story because that would be impossible. But the parts that I did play were cool, and some new characters that you meet are pretty decent too. So, look, it's going to be a massive extra part to the game, and it's only, what does it cost?
I don't know.
I can't remember if it's $17 or $27, but anyway, it's pretty damn cheap compared to what you're actually going to get for it, and it's part of the season pass anyway. So,
you reckon we'll see a Game of the Year edition in the next 3 months?
Oh, probably. Yeah, very likely. I think it's $27, man, because I think the season pass isn't even that much more, so it's worth just grabbing that and getting all of the DLC, all the paid stuff. Yes. So there you go. All right, well, that was The Witcher 3 DLC, Blood and Wine, and thanks again for Snoogans. He come with me and was very, very great to be with on the day. That was awesome. All right, we're going to move on. I think today's going to be an extended show with all the cool stuff that we've got to talk about. next I'll talk about the detail. Now, when you were talking about Blues and Bullets, it sounded to me like you were telling me about the detail.
Little less click and point and click.
Yes, however, the detail seems like more of the indie version rather than Blues and Bullets, because the detail is 2D, and it's all just like comic book style. So you've got the characters that pop up across the screen just like cardboard cutouts, and there's dialogue for you to read. Now, I'm going to start with the biggest disappointing thing that probably will turn most people off, and which is in contrast to Blues and Bullets. There's absolutely no voice acting whatsoever. So everything you need to read, right?
Yep.
But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. The other thing as well is that there's actually very little sound in the game at all. There's a little bit of background music sometimes, but there are moments in the game where there just is literally no sound effects. I hope that it wasn't just a bug on my PC build, but I didn't hear any real sound effects. Like, there was the odd background music that was actually quite good and fit the scene, but other than that, that's all I heard.
So, the elevator went ding.
No, not even. But anyway, yeah, so you're basically going to read the whole game. But what I felt like when I was playing it, I felt like I was actually reading a really good book. Like a good novel. So if you can look past the fact that you are just basically reading for about an hour and 15 minutes per episode, and there are 3 episodes, you probably will enjoy the story. Now, the story is the the meat and potatoes of this game. The rest of it is very pedestrian. It's not really a gaming experience that's going to blow your mind, because there's practically no gameplay. It's really just clicking and working your way through to get more of the story. Yep. However, in saying that, the story is great. It's like a dark noir detective murder mystery sort of story as well. And the characters are developed really good. You play as Dr. Phil. Have you seen?
I watched your streaming.
Oh, did you? It's dead set Dr. Phil, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dr. Phil is going to get onto these lawyer and be and start some suing for use of character in a game. But anyway, no, you play as a detective who is involved in. It starts off, there's a high up mob boss guy murdered, and you look into the murder, and you get like an informant, which is like a bad guy who gives information to police and stuff like that. Shit goes wrong, people get killed, and you just keep following this web, and it's got a lot of heart to it. Now, I don't want to go too far into spoiling things, but because it's really a good story. It gets real underbelly like, and things get uncovered, twists, turns, things that make you go
corruption.
Well, maybe. And there are scenes, like you said in Blues and Bullets, there's a scene that's quite gross and full on gory and that. There's a scene in this game as well, which is pretty full on, where a dude's face gets full ripped up by a boat propeller.
Mint.
But because of the art style, it's not that hard hitting. But like I've mentioned in my review, which is on AussieGamersExpress.com, the gory and the tones that are set by this game are mainly maintained by your mind's eye. So like when you're reading a book, you formulate what's going on in your head, right? Like with your imagination.
Yes.
That's what, even though you do have visual prompts because you can see what's going on the screen, your imagination will assist you as well with what you're not actually seeing, because it's not really animated. It's like I said, comic booky, and it's actually quite a good story. I give it probably an 8 or 9 out of 10 for the story. But yeah, as for a game on the whole, though, it's pretty lacking because of the bad sound quality, because there is none, and no voice acting as well. So you have to formulate all that in your head. But other than that, though, I don't regret having played all 3 of those episodes. It ends up quite well. I enjoyed it, and it wasn't an outcome that I was expecting. So
well, that's always good.
Yeah.
In narrative-based games.
Yeah.
You hate to be able to predict the ending because it's like, I've walked and read my way through this and that's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, and mind you though, it's kind of like one of the, like if it was like a book or a novel at all, it'd be a choose your own adventure, because there are certain parts in the game where you decide how things play out. Now, most of them aren't really going to affect the story. There's a couple that are like, do I punch this guy in the face or do I reach for that log of piece of 4x2, you know, that sort of thing, where it's still going to end up in the same result, just a different way. But there are still a couple of things in the game, though, that will affect the outcome.
Was there a choice that you couldn't make because the game wouldn't let you? You had to go back and make
you watched the stream, that's right. Yeah, I made one choice. There was a part where I wanted to grab this old lady by the arm.
Yeah, you were right, mind you.
Well, that's right, yeah, because she had a fucking...
an Uzi or something, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, okay, spoiler, but... yeah, she had the Uzi, so she was the right person to grab. But the game froze every time I fucking chose it. I reloaded the game and did the same thing, and it froze again. So I reloaded again and chose the other decision, and it worked. I mean, it was fucking wrong, but anyway, it still worked out in the end, I guess. Yes, I forgot about that. You did watch the stream. Good boy. But yeah, look, that's it for that one. Do you have any questions before we move on?
No, you covered. I've read your review and I watched the stream, so a lot of my questions have been answered. So what people can do is they can go watch the backlog of our Twitch videos at Aussie Gamers TV, or they could read the review at AussieGamers.com. Fuck, I'm getting good at this plugging stuff.
Love it. Yeah, you're good at plugging things, haven't you? Oh, Jesus. Alright, next up was The Park. Red, did you talk about The Park last week, or you didn't? No.
No, I reviewed it though.
You did. Beg your pardon?
I reviewed it though.
You did, yeah. So I played The Park. Now, Red, how long did it take you to finish?
About an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes.
It's about what it took me as well. About the same there. But look, fucking scary game, man. It's a walking simulator.
It had its moments, didn't it?
Yeah. Now, I streamed it, and while I was playing it, I had a couple of people in the stream helping me out, saying do this, because in little parts where I got a little bit lost. It's very bizarre that basically the idea of the game is you start off and you've got a young boy, Callum, and he goes missing. He runs off into what seemingly looks like an abandoned amusement park, and you think, why the fuck are we here in the first place? So anyway, you're chasing your child through the amusement park, or Wonderland, if you will, and there's a dedicated button to call out, Callum, where are you? This is not a game anymore. However, while you're looking for Callum, you must ride every fucking ride. Why am I riding? Now, obviously, there's reasons for it, blah, 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 but it felt a bit weird. I'm like, I'm looking for my kid, but hold on a minute, I'm just going to ride the fucking Ferris wheel. It's very bizarre. I'm like, why? I'm trying to find my child who's lost, but I'm taking time out to have a bit of fun. Righto, no worries. But it's a fucking spooky game, man.
Oh, I've got a movie quote for you. What are you looking at, swan?
That fucking swan when it turns its head.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. And good ending to Hansel and Gretel too, yeah?
Yes, yeah, very, yeah. That was a different ending. Yeah.
Yeah, where you said you got that dedicated button to call Callum, instead of having like a marker or a way to go, not that you really needed one because it was slightly linear, you couldn't really go off the beaten path, but you had that ripple effect.
Oh, I did see that. I didn't really pay too much attention to it though.
Yeah. I'm over here!
But how freaky is it, like, when you see... Because you don't see a lot of it, but you see that creature, that thing with, like, a hook hand. You'll be, like, on the ride, and you'll be coming into the end of the ride, and there'll be someone at the controls. And you're like, who's that? But you don't...
And it's gone.
You can't see it very much, and then by the time you get off the ride, it's gone. You're like, what was that?
You kept trying to turn that thing on faster and faster and faster just to send it out of space, didn't you? And then someone's in the chat going, you have to slow it down in order to ride it. And you're like, oh no!
Yeah, I figured as much, but I wanted to see how fast the fucking thing would go. I was hoping it was going to break.
Yeah.
But, oh man, towards the end, getting into that building where it turns into PT...
Takes a turn, doesn't it?
Oh, fuck, it's scary. Oh, it was giving me the chills... The jump scares, some of them I expected, but some of them just scared the fucking shit out of me. It's
you did note that the font was really hard and small to read on the documents.
Yes.
Don't
tell me there's a button.
No. But I'm just because I sit so close to my TV, I could read it. And if you want to expand on the experience and try and get your $17.55 worth, read it all.
Yeah, it is like you have said. It's good to read, but it's fucking hard to read.
Yeah, it only bolsters. It doesn't add anything. You don't find out anything. Oh well, you kind of do. Remember where you went to the sideshow?
Yeah.
Found that thing over to the left, behind
the. Yeah. You're being vague. Yep, that's good.
Yes, there's a You picked up the newspaper article as you first walked into the sideshow and you went, oh, fuck, can't read that. Anyway, let's keep moving on.
Yeah.
Had you have read that, it kind of would have made what you found just a little bit more eerie and would have alluded to what was going on near the very end of the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but with me, because I sit quite a distance away from my TV, it's a
weird handling font too.
Yeah, and it just wasn't big enough and clear enough on screen for me to read. Like, I could have squinted, and I've got perfect vision, mind you. I'm not half blind or anything. I just found it, like, I could have read it, but it was too much of a strain, so I didn't bother.
Yeah, it just bolsters the plot, really.
If they changed that, I think they need to fix that, because like I said, I've got very good vision, and I didn't want to read it because it was too hard. So that was a shame. But I think that's a problem with the game, not me. I'm blaming the game.
And if you do play this, the final section of the game where Luke said about PT, read everything every time you go through. There'll be books and notes and pictures and everything. That's where it gets a bit, what the fuck's going on here? And
read the same thing each time, though.
And as you know, there's an overarching element to it all that it's very high impact sort of adult theme sort of thing to it.
Yeah, and that's what when I found out about that, it made me think all my comments about you're just a shit mum made me double take that, double think it.
Yeah, so that'll be read everything if you're going to. It's the only way, and I've said it in the review, it's the only way you're going to get your money's worth. Because that is a very fine line between value and probably wait for a special, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, fair enough. But yeah, good game. I enjoyed it. It definitely wasn't a disappointing game for me.
Oh, no regret.
Scared the shit out of me. Nice one. All right, I'll move on to the Overwatch beta. Red, did you download that? You didn't bother. It was worth a go. Like, I thought it was actually pretty good. Look, it's not something that I would spend $89.99 or whatever on just a multiplayer game. But Hey?
League of Legends with guns.
No, it's better than that. No, it's... How would I explain it? I don't know. It's a first-person shooter. It's basically, I don't know.
It's a team-based first-person shooter where everyone has a unique abilities where you level up on an individual game basis, not as an overall. And you need to work in unison with your team and to keep your abilities balanced out in order to try and gain victory. And because it's not like a League of Legends game that's free to play, because it's pay to play, every character's instantly unlocked.
Yeah, and there's a lot of characters too, and I got to play with quite a few of them, and some of them are really good, some of them didn't suit my playstyle, but I would say I would play this game if it were free to play.
Yeah, sweaties, man.
Yeah, but look, I had... You can do, like, team-based stuff versus AI and stuff like that, so basically co-op stuff. There's quite a few different modes there, a lot of characters. It looks beautiful, plays well. I played it both on the PS4 and PC, and I really enjoyed it. The only thing that kills it for me is it's a full retail release, so full price, and it's only multiplayer. There's no campaign. Yes. So if it had a campaign, I'd probably be in, 100%.
I bet you this is Blizzard's console esport entry.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, considering there's so many different abilities and everything like don't get me wrong, I supported Jason when he was streaming it, so I watched a lot of that. I've read up on it and I've seen a lot coming. I've had too much on my plate. You know, it's a beta, yeah, it's free, it's open, just grab it, and it's like we've had a lot to do. We do a fair bit behind the scenes when it comes to literature and stuff like that, and just kind of running this monster. That I just went, nah, look, I know what I've got a feeling I know what it is, and that's an educated guess, not an assumption, as last week's news dictated. That what actually made the news is that there is going to be no initial competitive play.
Yeah,
it is competitive. It's a competitive esport, not a clone. Not at all. It's a benchmark. It's defining itself, but being Blizzard, the juggernaut that they are. But it has a lot of the same aspects of a League of Legends or whatever theirs is. That's Storm Battle, Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the Shitstorm, yeah.
Yeah, so lots of characters, lots of individual abilities. Every game you level up your individual character per game, sort of thing. So there is a lot of similarities there. If it's not broken, why fix it? So that's not taken away from it. They're going to do well, and it will be strong on the esports market as long as it works.
Yeah, but there you go. That was Overwatch in the free beta. Right, moving on now to Tasty Lethal Tactics. Played that on the PC.
Yeah.
That is not the game that I thought it was going to be. What did I think it was going to be? I had no fucking clue, really. But the name, I don't know why Tasty. They had a few issues with the name, with copyright infringements and stuff like that. So they ended up with Tasty Lethal Tactics. Ignore the Tasty. Lethal Tactics is a good name for this game. Basically, you play on a top-down view, full 3D battle field, whether it be like the top of a building or where have you, like a junkyard. You have your four squad members. I think you can eventually get 6. I played this on early access, so I didn't have everything open at the time. But it's kind of like a turn-based combat game, but with a massive twist. Like it's not synchronous, but it's not asynchronous either. Like you both will set up your moves at the same time.
Your combat's asynchronous.
But would you? Is it?
Well, you dictate what you want each character to do, and you spend their AP, if you will, their action points, and then the battle plays out. Like, you don't take a turn, then the next person takes a turn. You take all your turns, and then each other's turn happens asynchronously, and then you have an outcome, basically, with a roll of a virtual dice.
See, I would have thought that asynchronous gameplay was I take a turn, then you take a turn, like a game of chess.
Hmm.
Whereas that's not how this one works. We're both taking our turn at the same time.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weird. It's quite true.
I know what I wanted to say. Well, that's why these indie games, they need this hook, and now we're debating it.
Yeah. Well,
and they win.
To try and explain it, Red, if I was playing you, I would move my men where I wanted them to go, right? And I could select them. All right, I want this guy to move over here. Then I want him to look in this direction and shoot. Or I want him to go over there and duck for cover. Or, I want him to just go over there and do nothing or whatever. While I'm doing that, you're doing the exact same thing. Nothing's moving on the screen. I can't see what you're doing. And you can't see what I'm doing. And then I can press preview. And then I'll see my characters do what I've set them to do. And you can set them to do a lot, mind you. It's really cool. Then if I'm happy with what happens, because I can see where your enemies are though, but I just can't see if they've been moved, I then press execute. And then if you've hit execute, then they do what we've just sent them to do. So if I've sent a guy to walk over in line of sight of your character, but you've set him to move to cover, I'll miss.
Yes.
Or if you've neglected to move him, I'll kill him.
Yes.
And you can set to either just automatically fire when in view, or you can set like automatic fire. So you can just say, all right, I want you to fire at this position for 5 seconds. And I might have preempted that you're going to walk out of a doorway, so I'll make him shoot in that doorway immediately for 4 seconds, which will mean your bloke's just going to get mowed down as he walks out. If he walks out, because I don't know yet. It's awesome. There's objective-based combat where you can, kill everyone and grab the loot and get out, or you can capture areas, so you just need to be in a certain area for a certain time. Basically capture the flag. There's a whole shitload of single-player AI missions, like a main campaign. There's make-your-own missions, all that sort of stuff. It blew me away. I didn't realise it was going to be the type of game it is. It's great. You haven't had a try yet?
Not a try, no, but we will. We will, because I neglected to mention Halo, but you'll hit that, I think.
Oh, I've got that. That.
Yeah, we've been trying to get all this bloody co-op stuff and adversarial stuff together, and not enough hours in a day.
That's what I was just about to say. That not enough time. It's too much things to do, but it's a good problem to have. But anyway, it is a fantastic game. It's available now on Steam, and I think for somebody that likes turn-based combat, it's a must-have game. Must-have game. Awesome. All right. Do you have any questions about that, or shall we move on?
We'll move on.
All right, there's a review. I did do a review. Yeah, there is a review. www.aussiegamersexpress.com. So check it out on there. There's a little bit more information. Next up, Red, you mentioned it. Halo. We finally got you to burst your cherry and played some Halo. So we played the Master Chief Collection. Started off with Combat Evolved. And what did you think, Red?
Yeah, it ages well. You can tell how old it is.
Yeah.
Though. Suddenly ADS stands for throw fucking grenade.
Yes. No way down sight.
And you go, there was a part in the game where you go, oh, have you seen the original graphics? And I went, no. You go, well, press this button, and then you translate it as you had to. You had to translate all the buttons across the PlayStation buttons for me. I went, oh, okay. Yeah. And I checked the old graphics out, and that was cool. And then we moved on to the next level, and I had the old graphics still turned on. And you go, oh, this looks better in old graphics. And I went, oh, yeah. And then I went, I'll change it. And I changed it back to proper graphics. And went, oh, fuck. It doesn't look so bad.
Nah, the original graphics are not horrible. The remastered ones are amazing. They've done a lot of work. But yeah, the old ones aren't bad. It still works.
Not at all. Yeah, it was cool. And yeah, I like driving the Warthog.
Yeah, it's fun. It's great that it's co-op, isn't it? An old game like that.
Yeah, it was so seamless.
Yeah, but old game that's got online co-op that works properly. It's very refreshing.
And friendly fire.
Yes, there is friendly fire, which you can use to your advantage sometimes. There you go. Red played an Xbox and played Halo. Congratulations on that milestone, Red.
Yay.
All right, we'll power on because we're running super late, but it's going to be a long show this week. We can concede to that. Star Citizen, I played that. It's in early access. It's garbage. I don't like it. Move on. It's not garbage. It's just not optimized yet because it is still early on. It's not finished. I'm going to wait for that game to be finished before I play it more.
That has a strong aura of a one-game person, a person who just plays one game.
Yeah, it does have that feeling. Hey, if you're really into it, that's all you play. Yeah.
But you need to.
Yeah, but I couldn't work out how to play the thing. Like I didn't know what I was doing. But anyway. Stranger of Sword City. Unfortunately, we're not going to give this one much time because we want to move on. It's a JRPG on the Vita. Played that. There's a review on the website. It's different, but there's a lot of gameplay to it. There's like 50 hours of gameplay in that bloody thing.
So that's the back catalogue of Vita games.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're going to release something on the Vita, you need to give it 50 to 100 hours worth of gameplay so you don't feel like you're waiting for the next title to come out.
Yeah, well, that's it. All right, so that's there. There's also a review up on the website for that one. We also played Alienation. We touched on that. Let's get to Uncharted 4!
Oh, that's a thing, right?
Holy shit, man. Uncharted 4. People have been waiting for this to bring this up, no doubt. But the graphics, it is a game that makes me think, why can't any other developers do something like this? Like, Tomb Raider tries? Nah, doesn't even get close. This game is so beautiful. It looks great and still plays at like, I'm not sure it's 60 frames, but it's damn near close.
And do you know what this makes me think?
What's that?
Fuck PS4.5. Get the PS4 right first.
Well, yeah, if you can punch out games like this, come on, man. This is gold. Like, I'm 17 chapters in, and I think there's about 22.
I know there's more than that because I seen a number 23 pop up on my cousin's screen the other night, and he said he wasn't finished yet. So probably got 8 to 10 more.
Yeah, right. Well, and it's quite long. Like, I've already put 10 hours in, and I'm only up to chapter 7. I'm very much enjoying it. The gameplay is great. My favourite part about the gameplay mechanics is the combat. The combat has gotten so much better. 1 was pretty bad. 2 was heaps better. 3 felt like they made it solid. 4, they fucking blown it out of the water with the combat. With stealth mechanics not being overwhelming. You can do it. You don't need to do it. You can go and run and gun if you want. Running gunning will give you so many cinematic, amazing moments. Sorry, Red, you want to say something?
I'm glad to hear about the stealth moments because stealth in 1 and 2 and trying to get the stealth kills it felt that was probably the clunkiest mechanic.
Oh, it works. It works now. It is
because it makes it harder to play it on the harder difficulties because you get spotted. It's like they got eyes in the back of their head, and you run out of bullets. So it's good. It's very good to hear because, as I said, I've only played the multiplayer aspect so far.
Oh, it's good. Oh, if you don't have a gun. If you, like, do an air assassination, if you will, so jump from the sky and take out a bloke, he automatically equips their gun. He hits them, and the gun lands in your hands, and away you go, start shooting. It's so seamless. It's so brilliant. The introduction of the grappling hook, the rope, that mechanic is gold. See, that's not... You'd think it'd be very easy for them to just put it in for the climbing segments. That you can use that through combat as well, swinging around, kicking people, landing on them. It's good for an escape as well, to get away from a shitty situation if there's somewhere to grab onto. Mate, it's
not just swinging backwards and forwards. You've got the full 360. You can swing round things and
you swing around corners. You can climb up and down it. Everything.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, mate, it's good. I know you haven't started the campaign yet, have you?
Tonight!
Yes. But, look, the story's good. The characters are even better. The graphics blow you away. It's fun to play. Mate, I haven't finished it yet, so I don't know how it ends, but... Do you remember the comment that I made? I think I called it a long time ago on the podcast. That, because they referred to it as the last in the Drake series.
Yes.
And I said that it was going to end with Drake breaking a leg or losing a leg or losing an arm.
Yeah, physically maimed. Yeah.
I hope that happens. Look, obviously,
I want to see Drake lose his doodle.
No, well then we won't get a little Drake for the future games. But yeah, I haven't finished yet, so I don't know how it ends. But I'm liking it. I'm really enjoying the new characters that have come to it. I'm liking the backstory that you get from it. I don't know. It's all great. The mechanics of driving, they're better than some fucking driving games I've played.
Can you tell us what the treasure is that you're seeking?
Well, I guess I could.
Is it pirate treasure?
Well, I don't think that's a secret, really. Yes, it is. It's $400 million worth of pirate treasure at Libertalia.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what it is. But look, it feels like an endless treasure hunt.
Oh, good. It's Uncharted.
Yeah, it's like every time you get somewhere, you're like, oh, I'm here. I've got the treasure. Oh, it's not here.
No! Just another page in my journal.
Yes, but here's a clue on where it actually is. We'll go there. Oh, it's not here. But here's a clue on where it is. That's what the game... That's the game in a nutshell.
Fuck you, Sir Francis Drake.
But, that's the nuts and bolts of it, and it sounds a bit silly, but you could do that to anything, really. Oh, I love playing soccer. Oh, people kicking a ball into a net. You know how you can dumb it down?
Yeah.
Oh, let's play snooker. Oh, we're just pushing balls into a hole. That's not what it's about. That's the nuts and bolts, but it's what happens around it, which makes it a mad experience. Mind you, I wanted to mention as well, Ben Martin. He messaged us with a bit of a gripe that was brought up while watching the stream. Now, the gripe isn't about Naughty Dog's Uncharted 4, more so brought on and sort of brought into the open by it. A lot of games, when you interact with things, you'll go up to them, press triangle to open this door, press triangle to attach this to this, press square to do this. Uncharted takes it a little bit further, and it uses rope mechanics a lot better, whereas early on in the game there's a part where you have to attach a hook to a sunken... I think it's a train cart. Now, it could have been very easy for Uncharted to give you the task of going up to the part where you need to hook it on, press triangle, animate him hooking it, and job done. Whereas what it actually does, you have to swim with the hook around the thing that you want to hook on, and then press triangle to latch it onto itself.
Well, that's immersion, though.
Yeah, you actually have to hook it on. So you've got to go around and do it. You can't just, watch the animation. And it does that a few times with the winch on the little Jeep that you hire and things like that. So it's things like that. And Ben Martin's issue was a lot of games don't do that. It's lazy. All you do is pressing a button and watching the game do it all for you. Uncharted takes that next step. Uncharted 4 takes that next step and has you a little bit more interactive, which works really well. So it's really cool. Any questions?
So all these 10 out of 10s. Oh yeah, all these 10 out of 10s is getting. That's not just hype, is it?
No, it's very easy to just go in and say, oh yeah, 10 out of 10, it's great, but it's very hard to fault it. It's hard to pick on it. Like
multiplayer's fun.
Yeah, well, that's it. Tell us about the multiplayer, Red. You've played quite a few hours of that already.
Yes. Well, no leveling system.
Okay.
So you don't level up. You just not like in COD and everything where you get prestiges and everything like that. You just so many kills or so many downs with this weapon will attribute to unlocking the next one, whether it be they're called long guns. So you got a primary and a secondary. You got a long gun and a handgun. So you got to build them up.
you got your purchasables, so everything in game, as opposed to stacking experience and leveling up, as I just made note to. It's all a money thing.
Yeah.
So you get 100 points for a down, 50 points for a KO, 50 points for a revive. You get 25 or 50 depending on the perk when you pick up after dead enemies, and all these things can be used for purchasables, which your primary ones are. There's lots of them that you do tend to unlock, and I haven't unlocked everything yet. So you got your mythical powers, so like your Shambhala statue shrine thingy, that it's like a mythical thing that'll. I always thought that was going to ruin the game, but they're so evenly balanced. It's so nice. Throw it out. It does a little orbs that chases down surrounding enemies. Grenade upgrades, heavy weapon, purchasable heavy weapons, and sidekicks. And at the moment I think I've got a medic and a heavy, and it's got like a pick system very similar to Call of Duty, but more along the lines of The Last of Us. Everything feels Last of Us, loading in your pick system, all except for the gameplay obviously, which is more catered from Uncharted itself. So you got 19 points to spend, and your gun's worth 5. If you want to put an attachment on, it's worth another 1 or 2, depending on the power of it. You get 1 point for your pistol, and then you got to split your points up between perks and purchasables. So that's a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, cool.
The fact you don't level up at levels of playing field, like if you were say level 50 and you got all your sidekicks unlocked and everything, you'd get them so much easier, where you actually have to kill you actually have to produce results in order to be able to get these things. They're not like kill streaks. You can't get someone that goes through, just demolishes you 3 times in a row, gets a heavy, does it another 5 times, ruins your experience. It's a lot more fluent than the beta. A lot of people got into the beta because it was open, I believe. Oh, what, the second one? The beta was open, yes. We played the closed beta. So obviously, I didn't play the open beta. I didn't see if there was any upgrades from the closed. I doubt it because it was the same application. The one thing is, and I'm not going to tarnish the name of Naughty Dog nor Uncharted, but microtransactions are back, purely for vanity use. So if you do want to look different, then go for it. But the thing that blows me out, there's like a $75.99 pack in there. I'm like, fuck!
Yeah.
$75 look different in a multiplayer. Nah. Oh, and I unlocked an emote last night. Oh, Hotline Bling.
Oh, wow. I made that comment. Do you remember I did the video? I did the Hotline Bling video?
Yes.
They've copied me. They've taken my idea. Naughty Dog watched my video. All right.
You and Dr. Phil should get together.
Yeah, that's right. So,
but I will be back. I love the grapple hook. I love the aerial assaults. I love how every battle can be turned in your favour by working with teammates. I love the fact there's a ranked play there. So I will be spending a lot of time in multiplayer. This game will probably get 2 playthroughs on the main campaign, but same as with Last of Us. Look, it won't be Last of Us.
Yes, you need to fucking finish it, mate. Have you finished The Last of Us yet?
Yeah, remember?
Okay, yeah, I'll just double checking.
I was allowed to keep my job.
Yeah,
fuck. Yeah. But yeah, you can't be OP. I don't feel like you can be well overpowered in the multiplayer, and Last of Us had that feel. Instead of purchasables, you crafted on the fly. Here, you just purchase on the fly. Naughty Dog have a formula for their multiplayer, and it's very evident, and they need to maintain making third-person games, put it that way.
Yeah, it works for them.
Bloody oath. So,
nice.
Yeah,
right.
More to come.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it next week. Obviously, we'll have a bit more experience by then as well. So let's move on, because we're got to save some for the other podcasts that other people want to listen to, which they shouldn't. I don't know where I was going with that. Let's move on to Tight Ass Gaming. Alright, so this week's Tight Ass Gaming. Now, look, the game that I've got this week is probably for a little bit of personal reasons. It's a PC game, and it's free to play. That's why it's for Tight Ass Gaming. So it's there available for people to play for nothing. It's called Hawken. Okay, it's Hawken, Hawken. What it is, it's like Titanfall, but just in a Titan all the time.
Oh, nice.
The bad thing is, I tried to play it, and there's like a billion servers. There's Australian servers, there's European servers, there's North American servers, there's Asian servers, there's South American servers. There's heaps of servers, right? Every single one of them was empty.
Oh.
It appeared that nobody was playing it. I couldn't get a game at all. So that's why this is a little bit selfish, is that I want people to download this game and play it with me, because I don't have anyone. I couldn't get a game to start. But it's basically a multiplayer only game. And I got into a game, like you can go into the maps to explore, so you can just go in there on your own offline. So I did that, and it looks amazing. And I don't know, like I put it on the highest possible settings, and it still ran at like 1,000,000 frames a second. Now it's probably, there wasn't much going on because it was only me in there, but it still looks pretty good. It doesn't look as good as Titanfall, but it looks damn good, and it looks fun to play because you're using these massive mechs that are larger than life, and it just looks like a lot of fun to play. So I've tried to recruit Reprimir. His computer's dead at the moment, so as soon as he sorts something out, I'll get him on board. He's got a few PC mates that'll play, but anyone that has a PC that is able to run it, I'd love you guys to get onto this game because it looks great and it's free, and I just think it'll be a good game to play with your mates for nothing. Let me just have a look at what the specs are. Alright, so the system requirements is Windows XP, Vista, Windows 7, 32 or 64-bit, 2 GHz dual-core processor, 3 gig of RAM, and a 512 megabyte graphics card that supports DirectX 9.0C and Shader Model 3, and NVIDIA 9800 GTX or AMD HD 5670. You need a broadband internet connection, 5 gigabytes of available space, and be able to punch out 720p or higher. It doesn't look too demanding.
No, it's a little punchy.
It will need a little bit of power, but a lot of rigs will be able to play it. So I try to keep... sorry?
Anything in the last 2 years will play it.
Yeah, I try to keep the tight-ass game something that most people will be able to play if they've got a mediocre PC. This one's probably on the higher end, but I think it still will run on most things. I think yours might go alright on the lower res. And
yeah, but mine tends to go alright, just overheats way too quickly.
Yeah, it's because it's a laptop. The heat, they generally don't do too well with dispersing heat. That's probably your biggest enemy.
But
look, have a look at it. Anyone that's listening to this and is slightly interested, have a look. It's free to have a go. It's still early access, which is a bit sad.
Yeah,
and it's
hit you up and make a date.
Yeah, absolutely. Get as many friends as you can together, and we'll have a go. It was released back February 2014. It's been around for a while. But it plays and feels really good, and even with keyboard and mouse, because that's what I was using just to roam around. It looked really cool. Does
it feel more like Titanfall or MechWarrior?
Titanfall, definitely more like Titanfall.
Oh, there you go.
Because the mechs move quite quickly. They're not cumbersome like in MechWarrior, where they sort of move like tanks.
Yeah.
But it looks like a fantastic game. I'd really like to get a couple of games of it. Looks cool. But anyway, so hit us up. But that's what I'm recommending for Tight Ass Gaming. I reckon it'll be a good go and we might enjoy it. And if not, oh well, it was free. Who cares? Yeah, that's it. Fart in your hand and sniff it. You've done that.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. As a kid or recently?
Oh, recently. You got to get the PCCs happening, mate. The personal cupcakes. Oh! There's only one true way to rate it.
Oh, that's weird, but that's a great way to end Tight Ass Gaming. Let's move on to video game news. Alright, so first up in video game news, quite related, is Titanfall 2 drops. This year?
No pun.
This year, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, EA announced that this week Titanfall 2 would be released by fall this year. So for those in Australia, that means sometime between October and December 2016. I didn't... What are you laughing at?
Another pun. Releases in fall.
Yeah, very good. That might have been what they were going for. But I'd never expected Titanfall 2 to be this year.
Oh, it's coming out at a very dicey stage.
Oh, I like how you've said that, a dicey stage, because that means that Titanfall 2 will be launching in the same window as Battlefield 1, which was also announced to be released on the 21st of October in that same window. So, I don't know, this... What are they called? I think it was EA. Some dude from EA came out and said, look, I'm not too fussed that two massive games will be coming out. They're not really going to eat into each other because the first-person shooter genre is so expansive. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if one suffers. I think if any of them are going to suffer, it's probably going to be Titanfall.
Oh, well, you've got in a space of 3 weeks, you've got Mafia 3. Well, possibly Titanfall if it's that same window. Battlefield 1, Call of Duty. Infinite garbage, Modern Warfare 4. No, I should say Infinite Warfare. I'm being a skeptic, as I haven't been really when it comes to the Call of Duty franchise. But we'll talk about that probably a little bit more later. But that's a massive window of $100 plus games with season passes and. Get rich quick.
Out of all three of those, Titanfall, Battlefield, and Call of Duty, Titanfall's the one I'm interested in most, though.
Oh,
it'll finally have a chance to spread its wings because it's going to be on multi-platform release rather than exclusive to Xbox One and PC. So,
you know what they need? They need cross-platform multiplayer, and it will win.
Oh yeah, so we can play against each other on the consoles. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, with Microsoft, with the PC and the Xbox and the PlayStation, if they could work asynchronous.
No, synchronous.
Synchronous, sorry. If they could synchronize their monthlies, then we could. It'd see a bigger player base that'd last longer too.
Yeah, and they would probably go really well with that. So that's cool. That's coming up late this year. Awesome. There'll probably be more info at E3, which is coming up soon. All right, Red, give us your news, buddy.
Right, it's a very EA based, but the headline for this one is dun 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 dun. So EA are really looking. From what I've read, this is half of this is news and half of it's opinion. I think EA are looking to cash in on their claim to the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
So Battlefront is looking to release annually. So, well, kind of. We got Battlefront last year? No, this year.
No, it was last year, wasn't it? Something's telling me December. Let me just check.
Yeah, sorry, I should have done just a little bit more research. I'm thinking March. Yeah. Anyway.
November last year.
Yeah, so they're going to release another Battlefront next year. Untitled Battlefront 2, which will probably be called Battlefront 2.
Probably. Well, there already is a Battlefront 2, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, the old one. Yeah,
old school one. So, EA CFO, and I believe that's Chief Financial Officer.
Probably.
Blake Jorgensen said the publisher will most likely have one Star Wars title a year for the next 3 to 4 years. That is potentially expensive for Star Wars fans, considering the $75,000 he needed for the previous season pass.
Yes.
You'd think with the season pass, they'd offer 5 to 6 drops, but the of course season pass no guarantee. You instantly think 4 drops of DLC. So Battlefront 2 will incorporate material from the main Star Wars saga, including the new sequel trilogy, which is pretty cool. As well as a series of anthology movies that include the year's Rogue One and upcoming Han Solo spin-off. So there's
Yeah,
a little
cool.
bit of news in itself there. Also, as we touched on last week, just to finish this up, Respawn Entertainment, working closely, also is making the third-person action-adventure game from the galaxy far, far away.
Yes. Very good.
So there looks to be a lot of Star Wars content in the works, which is cool. But let's hope they learn from their mistakes at Battlefront 1 and offer a little bit more value for money in Battlefront 2, considering I'd say a majority of the work is already going to be done, so it won't be too dissimilar to the Call of Duty yearly release where 90% of the development's already done. It's just going to be spiffied up a little bit more.
Campaign won't go astray either.
Oh, imagine that. A co-op campaign.
Yes.
Give us 8 levels. You know.
Yeah, give us a co-op campaign and we'll be happy.
So that's something to look forward to for all Star Wars fans.
All right, my next bit of news. It's a little bit repetitious, I guess. But Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and Battlefield 1 have both been announced now. They've got their teaser trailers going out there on that. After last week's comments by Roland Smedberg of EA, we can now actually compare the games with their trailers. And one goes to the future, being Infinite Warfare, while the other one goes back in time, being Battlefield 1. Now, what do you think of what they're both doing, Red?
Oh, I think you need another musical headline. Ready? Bum, 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 bum. Seven Nation Army soundtrack or the cover. That's a thing, covering. Because there's a cover song for COD 2. It's the Beatles. It's a Beatles song that they covered for that as well. It's not Space... no. Anyway, what do I think? I think we all wanted to go back.
Yeah,
we all were the first person to go back in time. You know, none of these energy weapons, high-capacity submachine guns and everything. Looks like we're going back to the M1 Garand, the Thompson, the mustard gas, the grenades. It looks to be a little bit more bludgeoning and melee-based trench fighting in Battlefield 1. Ambitious from Call of Duty Infinity Ward to take it to space, though it does expand the franchise to planets other than Earth. Campaign-wise, they need to keep boots on the ground for the multiplayer, which won't happen. There will still be jetpack-style, fast-paced action. Basically, when the community says they want to go back to old school, yes, World War One and World War Two would be covered in that, but a lot of YouTubers, a lot of fans, a lot of pros, they want a multiplayer experience, boots to the ground. So you've got to jump, you've got to slide, but you don't have so much jetpack, wall running, everything like that. Boots to the ground. It's a level playing field, and there's also been a lot of speculation that people are going to struggle playing Modern Warfare Remastered because it's going to be so slow.
Yeah, it is going to be a very different multiplayer, isn't it now?
Yeah, and there's more speculation too. So you get Modern Warfare Remastered, you get 10 of the multiplayer maps. Are Activision going to give you a season pass for both games? Are they going to cash in on DLC for Modern Warfare Remastered multiplayer?
Oh god, don't give them ideas.
Too late, mate. It's a juggernaut.
Yeah.
These companies are just snowballing this into something that's quite ludicrous. We touched on CD Projekt Red's Witcher expansions. We used the respectful term of an expansion. Yes, it's called DLC because it actually is downloadable content that you can't buy on a disc. So in true definition, it is DLC. But these things are expanding your experience. These guys are charging you your $69 a year. And, imagine that, $130 worth of DLC for annual Call of Duty release. Ouch.
They may as well just make a $6 per month subscription and just give you everything.
Fuck, that... Oh, wow. The amount of people that it'd be more viable to.
Yeah, well, I mean...
They would have got $6 a year out of me for Black Ops 3. I would have played it more because I feel I have this investment. But you've got both consoles and we get games here, there, and whatnot. But to drop $70 at the drop of a hat for nothing initially is a very hard task. You have nothing to show. You have to accumulate that product over a 9 to 10 month gap of time in order to see any real value. And DLC is about to drop for Call of Duty again. And we've got Uncharted 4, and we've got Doom, and we've got these indie titles we're playing. Division's about to drop more DLC. It's so hard to get your money's worth, so you've got to be very picky with your season passes and your DLC purchases.
Yeah, it's getting real busy out there, isn't it?
There's main offenders, man. There's the EA, Activision, big money whores. And I think the true value I've seen so far in season passes, and this is not through personal experience, but from articles and from your guys' combined knowledge and conversation, is Bethesda and CD Projekt Red know how to develop a season pass.
Yeah, fair call.
It's these open world adventure RPGs that actually have substance. So my take on it, sorry to go away from the thing, but this has been a few things is boiling up over the last week or so that I've been thinking about with it. Smegberg made some big comments.
Yeah.
Fuck, didn't they back it up with a fucking trailer though?
Yeah, see, but that's my point with this that I wanted to go with this news article. Look, that's right. Their game does look better, but what I still think that's a low act.
Oh, clickbait, mate. That's the 21st century. It's where we live.
I've always said, look, I come from a sales background. And if you're going to sell something, sell it on your merits, not by bagging the opposition.
Oh, yeah.
I disliked that, what he said last week. I don't like that. Why he could have just gone on and said how great their game looked, by saying that the opposition was quaint and was basically said it doesn't look very good with the 2012 graphics or whatever it was.
It's not professional.
It's not. I don't think it's professional at all. I thought that was pretty low, and I disagree with it.
They say any publicity is good publicity, but it's Call of Duty release trailer or the snippet that's the top 10 of the most disliked, has the most dislikes for any video on YouTube.
Yeah, as of 2 days ago, that they were number 4. The fourth most thumbs down video on YouTube in the world, and I think number 2 was that Friday song by Rebecca Black, and number 1 was some Justin Bieber song or whatever. But mind you, you got to take into consideration the overall views. There were 10 million views of the Call of Duty trailer. Mm. And there was 1 million thumbs down.
That's 10% though.
Now, you've got to keep into consideration that there's still 9 million people that either liked it and gave it a thumbs up or didn't click either of them.
Mm.
So
I'm one of those. I never like or dislike videos on YouTube.
No, I tend to not even remember. I don't even think of it. But it is big. It's 10%, but like in the big scope of things, if I had a video that had 10 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down, it's not going to break my heart.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't please everyone all of the time. But if you're pleasing the majority, I think you're doing a good job. Whatever. Anyway.
So we'll wait and see. E3 will shine a bit of light.
You want to? I'll give you the statistics on the Justin Bieber number 1.
Yeah.
Over 1.3 billion views.
What?
And I think it was like 6 million thumbs downs. It's good odds. I'd still be happy if I were him.
Yeah.
Give me a percentage on that. What's the percentage there?
Oh, fuck. Jesus. I don't know. 0.3%?
Nothing. So as much as it's good to talk about how Call of Duty is the top 10 most unliked videos, it's realistically, if you look at it, it's not really that bad.
Oh, that just goes to give more credibility to the definition of how toxic the internet is.
Yep. Yeah, very cool.
People will jump on a bandwagon, mate, because they have no life of their own. And obviously there's a million of them out there.
All right, Red, give us your next news.
All right, now
as we said, the EA seem to be releasing a lot of news at the moment, and I've just gone, bing, got that little light bulb action happening. And I think it's because it's coming up to E3, and EA aren't actually at E3. They're going to have their own showcase. So I think a lot of their news and updates are going to be filtered out through other news channels. So that's probably why it feels like we're inundating everyone with EA news at the moment. But it's just so up in our faces, and there's a few headlines here that really can't be missed. So once again, EA today being yesterday, being the 12th, confirmed that Mass Effect and Need for Speed fans will have to wait until 2017 for the new installments of their franchise. BioWare General Manager Aaron Flynn said in an update that Mass Effect needs the right amount of time to make sure we deliver everything a game can and should be. Exhibit A being Uncharted, we waited and we've been paid back. I think Mass Effect, or EA and BioWare cannot be held at in a negative stance for this, because shit, if you take the extra couple of months and you deliver on what we're seeing at the moment, we are going to start seeing the most genuine current generation of games.
Yeah, it's starting to take shape now, isn't it? We're getting games that are worthy of the power of the new consoles.
That's correct. And saying all this and power and current gen games and the love for it, I really had to choke up putting Need for Speed in the same headline. But
that's going to need a bigger delay.
It's going to need a bigger... Yeah, we're going to need hover cars and shit. So just let's delay it 10, 12 years until we've got water-powered cars or something. But yeah, so let's go 2017. So Andromeda, Need for Speed, delayed 2017. No release window, no quarter, it's only the fiscal year. And yeah, so big... It even says here, they're not taking place at an E3 Expo.
Yeah, all good. I can wait. That's all right. They're good games, and we've got plenty at the moment. All right, my last piece of news is the Assassin's Creed movie trailer was released.
Wicked.
How good does that look? I'm happy with it anyway.
Yeah, well...
What do you think of it?
Michael Doodlebender, because mine bent straight up. We were only talking last night that there's only ever been one good adaptation from small screen to big screen when it comes from games, and that was Mario Brothers.
Oh, yes. We were talking about that. And we admitted, we go, okay, it's a shit movie, but we fucking love it.
Oh, cult classic. You go back and watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles now, you go, well, fucking what the fuck? Yeah. You know, you're a 12 to 15-year-old who they were marketing back then, and they're marketing the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 now. You go, these are brilliant, what the fuck is that? Sort of thing. Yeah. But cult classics, mate. Instant classic movies, and yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, but this Assassin's Creed trailer...
It looks the goods.
It does look the goods. It looks... They've changed a few things, like we talked about how the Animus has the subject in like a virtual reality thing where it's connected to him and moves him around and stuff, rather than what's that? Sorry,
Dr. Octopus Harness.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Rather than like with Desmond and all that, he was just laying in the Animus in like a chair. So it's a little bit different, but it still looked good, and it's nice to see something that's looking promising coming out of a video game movie. So Michael Fassbender is the star. And Marion Cotillard is also in there as well. So it's due out December this year.
Probably 31st. Boxing Day, sorry.
Yeah, I've got a date of the 21st. I just don't know how relevant that is to us. So we'll end up finding out shortly. But I'm definitely going to the movies to see that one. That looks fantastic. So,
it does.
Jump. There's a link on the Aussie Gamers Express page, or just hit YouTube and look for it. But it's definitely... worth having a look at if you're a keen fan. Red, what's your last piece of news, buddy?
Disney Infinity doesn't seem to be living up to its name.
Yeah.
Disney has a lifespan. Disney has money, man. They must be running at an uber loss because, I should emphasise, Disney Interactive has discontinued its Infinity line of Toys to Life games, shutting down its Avalanche studio. Mm-hmm. So it's not just we're not just losing Disney Infinity, we're also losing the Avalanche studio.
Yeah.
So the cancellation will cost Disney $147 million. So what? That's a breakfast for Disney.
Yeah.
Including inventory write-down and employee severance. Close to 300 jobs will be cut, and the dissolution of the Utah-based Avalanche studios.
Yeah, it's a shame when that happens.
It's a massive. It is business, but they are a conglomerate. They're bigger than Nintendo, I would assume.
Yeah, I reckon they've got something on the cards to replace it that they reckon's better.
Yeah, well, we haven't heard much on the Lego, have we? The Dimensions.
Yeah, that's gone quiet. There is more coming out for the Dimensions soon.
Do you reckon that was a phase?
Yeah, massively. Everyone just tried to cash in on it.
But it was too expensive, man. Like I've got Infinity for the Kids 2.0 on the PS4.
Yeah.
Right? Got half a dozen Star Wars characters and half a dozen Marvel characters. And like I was raving on the other night how lucky I was I picked up like the Hulkbuster, the Iron Man suit for $8, and this thing they're prime quality. I think they've shot themselves in the foot making everything so to a standard that they actually have to charge.
Yeah.
And if you want to get any body out of these games, you literally have to spend more than a Battlefront season pass. So too expensive, I think, is what the problem is. So they're cutting their losses at $147 million, which to Disney is fuck all. You know, that's bugger all. Look at the money they've just made from Star Wars, you know. And so that's unfortunate because the kid orientated genre is a rather dying breed at the moment.
Isn't it? It's dwindling for the poor old kids because, I reckon I would struggle to... And I've done this before. Like, my daughter might come up to me and say, Daddy, can we play a game? And I'll go, okay, let's have a look on the store and on the digital store and see what's there. You struggle to find any kids' games that are decent.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a shame. But
so people go, oh, you let your kid play MA-rated games or M-rated games. I said, son, point me out a G-rated one.
Yeah,
you know,
they don't exist.
What is there, you know? So I did draw the line. I didn't. My son was very disappointed in me. I didn't let him watch Deadpool.
Yeah, fair enough.
I had to draw the line. I said, I'll watch it first and I'll let you know. And then I got to a point. I said,
no,
we'll watch it together. I'll tell you when to close your eyes. And I said, you're only going to see the opening credits and the closing credits at best. So great movie. Plug the shit out of that. But
not for kids.
No, it's not for kids, mate. It just you had that thing with the animator from CD Projekt Red. I'm an adult. I want to make adult decisions, play adult games.
Mm-hmm.
Every game back in the day was a PG release or a G release. You know, there was. We've just come so far with animation and real world troubles and real world problems that we can now recreate them in the form of art, and they're so impactful. And that's what we're looking for. The core base of gamers are looking for emotion and immersion. Which will either go straight over a kid's head or B, just be too blunt. So there's hope for the NX, or codename NX for the Nintendo, and the Wii U still. The Vita is a platform that's underused, but I think there's a trending lack of games for the under 12s.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's it for the news, yeah?
Yeah, brother.
All right, well, let's get this mammoth of the show heading towards the end. Let's do What's That Sound first. All right, first up, What's That Sound for last week? We had our winner, which was the usual. Good work, Andrew Roy Boy. He picked it as Contra 2, which is correct. That sound was from that. Let me just play that one. So, congratulations to Andrew Roy. Also, Ben Martin, he had a crack, but he was wrong. Gave him a code anyway. 3 games anyway, even though he was wrong.
Yay!
It does happen. Congratulations. Thank you very much for entering. All right, so without further ado, let's get this moving. Here's this week's Sound Good Luck Red.
I'm a convicted murderer.
Wow. No.
Have another listen.
I'm a convicted murderer.
Oh, I feel like I should know the voice. Nah, got me.
Okay, here's a hint.
Yes.
It's from a video game.
Oh, fuck, got it. Nah.
He's a male character.
In his early 40s.
Yeah.
He likes long walks on short beaches.
More than you know. His initials are LE.
Still no.
All right. Well, anyone listening, if you think you know what this week's What's That Sound is, or who the character is, or the game that person's from, send us a message to our Facebook page and tell us what you think it is. If you're correct, we'll send you a free code. If you're not correct, I might send you a free code. Give it a go. What you got to lose? Just send us a message saying that on our Facebook page. And that's it for this week, and we'll give you the answer next week. All right, Red. Let's do your shout, brother.
Let's do it. I'm going to be selfish. I set myself up to make my life just a little bit easier this week. Didn't get as much love as I wanted, but I put a Call of Duty vs Battlefield post up on the page. I thought I'd test the waters and get a shout segment out of it. So we're going to hear from a couple of regulars here, but a couple of new guys that I'll write in there so they can expect to know that their voice is being, that their name's being called by my sensual voice. So, in no order at all, I basically said it's time to have your say. Call of Duty vs Battlefield. So, Brendan Brown, Battlefield is always and forever. Battlefield is my favourite. I enjoy the COD games also. And he's a liar because Dark Souls is his favourite, but I'm guessing he was just rating the two.
Yeah.
Hayden Campbell, Battlefield is a series. COD 4 is an individual title, so we got a fence sitter. COD 4 was such a great game, I'm looking forward to the remaster. Will you enjoy buying that for the small price of $129?
Yeah, but COD 4 is not an individual title, it's part of a trilogy.
As an individual title. Well, at the time it was... Yeah.
Oh, not saying it's an...
You're not saying it's an individual title, but as an individual title. That's his favourite game, first-person shooter from Battlefield.
Oh, is that what he said? All right, gotcha. Yep, my bad. Sorry, continue.
Martin Creamer's not an FPS guy. No, you're a real boy. But I felt the Battlefield had better multiplayer base, less squeakers. I tend to agree.
Yeah, fair call.
Ben Housden, I always preferred the arcade feel of COD, but after Black Ops, Battlefield stole my heart, and I'll never ever go back. Can't stand all this jetpack jumping bullshit. Yeah, fair call.
Yeah, fair call.
Dano O'Brien, too busy playing Uncharted 4.
Don't care.
And Andrew Roy gets a little special shout out for his platinum. I called him out last week, and true to his pride, he has followed through. Congratulations on your platinum, and there's no surprise in his answer. Between Call of Duty and Battlefield, what's his favourite? The Division. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support. I did make it a little easier on myself this week. Instead of scrolling through and picking my favourites, I set you up in order to knock you down.
Lovely. Good job. All right, that's the shout. Let's do the special last words, and we'll have to make it a little bit quick though, so we can finalise the show. Red.
Alright, Friday 13th, I thought I'd delve in and have a little bit of look at some of the best horror games or best rated horror games across the internet. I disagree with a couple, so I've replaced them with my own. I'll give you 10
Little bit of history. The horror game genre started in 1986, and we've come a long way today. So, in no particular order, I'll run off some of the web's favourite ones. Luke, tell me whether you played them, not played them, interested in playing them.
Sure.
Number one, Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
No, I haven't played it. I am interested in playing it, though.
There's a general internet consensus that is one scary motherfucker.
Yeah, well, just on that alone, I'll probably have to give it a go.
Outlast.
I have played it.
Too scary. Too scary. Alien Isolation.
I have to try again. Alien Isolation, have played it. Too scary, turned it off. I will be going back to that one, definitely. That'll probably be the first one that I'll get back to.
Yep. Some would say horror. I say King of the Jump Scares. Five Nights at Freddy franchise. Gay! YouTube rules me.
I'm lost with that game. I've not played it. I don't. All I see is a teddy bear every time I see it. I don't know. Yeah. I've heard lots of things about it, but I don't know. I may give it a try one day.
Did you play Condemned or Condemned 2?
Neither.
Oh, serial killer, scary shit. Fucking cool. I played 2. Dead Space series.
Love them all.
Very violent, very scary.
Yeah.
It did make the list because it was probably the first one I'd played in a long time. Until Dawn.
Yeah, played it, enjoyed it, but wasn't really scary.
And just a couple of quick honourable mentions would be the Resident Evil series. They were benchmarks for their time. And PT.
PT, yeah, couldn't finish it because it was too fucking hard and too fucking scary.
Honourable mention because it's not a game. It's a tease. And it'll forever be a tease. That's the one that we'll never swallow, so...
Righto. What about Slender?
Wasn't that a cult phenomenon? I don't know how that didn't make the list.
Now, the original Slender that was like just a real small indie title, like it's been reproduced a million times.
It was almost web-based, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say that, but I'm not 100% sure. But that one where you just had the, I think it was Slender, the 8 pages, where you had to go and find the 8 pages of paper. And each page that you picked up, the Slender became even more aggressive. And it was essentially, if you turn around, he would be there. And if you look at him, you die. So you were forever trying to not turn around, but you would hear things behind you all the time. You'd hear him walking, hear sounds, and you want to turn around, but you don't. Or you'd want to change direction, so you'd turn, and you're like, fuck, there he is there, and you quickly look away, and all that sort of stuff. That was a brilliant, scary game. I liked playing that.
Yeah.
What other ones could I mention? It's probably, I think you've covered the good ones, man.
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. Oh, actually, there is, because there's that many of them. I've got to try and remember which one it was. I don't remember, but there was one in particular where there was a room that you went into and there was a mirror. And the mirror was like the whole size of the wall.
Yep.
And you'd see yourself, but eventually something would happen and your reflection would just stop and would freeze, even though you're moving around. That was so creepy. And then shit would be growing on the walls in the mirror, but not in real life. Yeah. That's a memorable moment. I like that one. Great game.
So it couldn't be a Friday 13th without a little notion to the horror genre.
Yeah, absolutely. They're the type of game and the genre of game that I love to hate. I love them, but when I'm playing them, I just want to stop playing.
So hopefully there's something there for the listeners that they haven't heard yet and they want to try. So that was the main aim of today's last word from Red.
That's it. Good job, Red. Appreciate your efforts. I've got nothing in particular to add, so I guess that's the end of the show, Red. Thanks a lot. That's a long show. Hopefully people appreciate having a little bit more content for the week, I guess, maybe, for their commutes or anything like that. So once again, like always, thank you very much to everybody that's listening to us. We really do appreciate all of your support. I'm going to give a special shout out to Ross Mark, because he's been there. I've been streaming quite a fair bit now because I have the NBN fast connection, so I'm streaming HD. Without fail, most of the time he's there for a quick chat, and I appreciate that because it's someone to talk to while I'm playing games. It's really cool. He's always supported us for a long time, so I appreciate that, Ross. You're a champion, and that's it. So without further ado, Red, unless you've got anything further to say, no, yes, no.
Nope.
No. Well then, I've been LewkOne.
And I've been Red.
Catch ya. This week's show has sadly come to an end. Be sure to search for Aussie Gamers Express on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, iTunes, Stitcher, Intune Radio, and just about every other social network known to man. If you have any snail mail you want to send us, shoot it over to PO Box 130, Cranebrook, New South Wales 2749, or just email us at info@aussiegamersexpress.com. Catch you all next time on the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.